Okay, it started.
Starting?
Yeah.
We're going to talk about building the birdhouse today. And first I want to show you what the birdhouse looks like when it's assembled. I also want to tell you what it's made of. It's made of western rough cut cedar. When they say rough cut, you see the surface is cut, it's not finished. And so we'll have to finish it a little different. But this is basically what it looks like. And this is material that I've salvaged. This is fencing material. And the reason cedar is a good birdhouse, also redwood is that it stands the weather better than most other woods. It doesn't shrink, it doesn't warp as bad, and it doesn't rot as bad. So it lasts a long time if you take care of it. So this is how it's going to look at. Like, we're going to talk about the components. Okay, there's two sides. There's the front, the bottom. This will be the back of it. See how it is. And then the last thing will be the top of the roof. Okay, these are the tools we're going to work with. We're going to have a screwdriver, and then we'll have a hand driver. And these are the things that the components or the fasteners. We'll be using these wood screws. And the first thing we do is to go ahead and insert the screws in the pre-drilled holes. Now if you can't push them by hand, I already assembled some of them, then you can take the screwdriver and just start them. Just start them in each one of the holes on the side. So the next thing we want to do is take the bottom, as you can see it, how it's fixed. It's got two little splines. So we take the back of it and we insert it in the back. We take the front and we insert it. Now we take one of the sides that's already here, we lay it here, and the main thing is to get it exactly smooth, contact, and straight with this side. And then we can take the electric battery and drill, and then we can start the screws in there. And you just go down with the battery touching. We be sure it's straight on this side. Go all the way, because the danger if you go all the way, because this is close to the edge, it will break off, it'll crack. And you don't want it to crack. So you go over the front and you do the same thing. You try to get the front and everything lined up and smooth, and then you start it here. Go down the same way on the front, the same way. Now what you can do is go ahead and get the others. Excuse me, you lay these one out and back it up. These two screws up here fasten the top, so you don't put those down, but you get all the other screws down. Now, because I pre-did this, I'm going to have to take these two screws out because they're for the top. Okay, let's take those out. Don't put them in. Then we turn it over, and we do the same thing on this side as we did on the other. And we set the top up here and get it perfectly aligned, that corner. Put your screw in. And get the bottom is the same way. Go all the way. That's the main thing. You don't want to go too far, because if you do, you'll crack it, and then you'll have other problems. All right, now we can put the top on. So you can see when you get it at this far assembled, then the only thing you like is putting the top on. You see these little boards on the bottom allows us to take and put the top on and not in and it will be aligned when you put it on. So once you get the top on, you turn it, you put the screws here, and you take and remember, don't go all the way.
And don't get your finger.
Then we come over, while we've got it in this position, we can take, let's do this first. Let's get all of these screws, then we can use the final step. I'll show you how to do that. Okay, now we take this out, put it in here, this. Then we can take and tighten these down. Just put them snug. Don't tighten too tight, just as long as they're nice and snug in there. You can feel it when it tightens up, and you stop when it gets snug. So you go and you turn all of these, and you snug them up. And you see, you stop as soon as you get them snug. You turn this over, you go over here, you get these. Again, be careful, don't over tighten it, because you can still split the wood. All snugged up. So now we can put in the eye bolt on the top. Start it with your hands. Then you can take your screwdriver and then you can put it in. You don't want to be careful that you don't go too far with it either. You've got to stop at a certain place so it's straight. And this is a little hanger. Depending on how you want to hang it, then this can be screwed in and the birdhouse hangs up that way. You can see the front, the back, and how it goes. So that's the way that works. Going to paint the birdhouse or finish it. We're going to put a coat on it that will seal it so the water, the moisture, the rainwater doesn't deteriorate it over time. So I'm putting these gloves on, and it'd be a good idea. Now you can wash it off. The material we use is water soluble, and it can be washed and cleaned up with water. So I'm just going to show you quickly how this can be done.
Done.
Okay, we're going to talk about painting the birdhouse and how we're going to seal it and why. We're going to use a product that's used on wood fences and outdoor wood that's exposed. It's called Thompson's Water Seal. And what it is a clear, it actually looks white, but it dries clear. And when it goes on the wood, it leaves it natural, but it keeps the moisture from going into it. The main thing is when you're painting is to be sure and get it in all the cracks and get it around the wood and in the end grain so that you're sure that you're keeping it where it won't absorb water. So you can paint all over it, and then when you get through, you let it dry, and it won't take long for it to dry. Probably overnight would be sufficient. Okay, so when you get through, that's what it looks like. Now the main thing when you get through with your brush, you're through painting and so forth, what you want to do is to take some water and wash it so you can use it next time. So after this dries,
You should tell them how much of the product should be put.
well, about a half a cup is all it's going to take.
Okay.
But probably you're going to paint, once you get them assembled, then everybody can paint theirs together. And that way, you don't have to wash the brush every time. So when you get through, then we can take a magic marker like this, and then we can go right on the bottom. Then we can write the name and the date and whatever you want to on the bottom after this dries with the marker. So that's the demonstration, and I want you to take note and then pay attention so that when you get through, you're going to have